When did you meet Bill Pinson?
When I was about 11 years old.
Did he give you birds?
Through Lester Leemeyer is when they introduced me to him. When I was 9 years old, I met Lester Leemeyer, and then he introduced me to Bill Pinson, and that's how that introduction developed. And he did give me a few birds. The price that back then, the price that he charged was next to nothing, $5, $10 a pigeon, and he was real good to me. I respect Bill Pinson to the highest level, to the very highest level.
Did Lester Leemeyer and Bill Pinson give you the run of the mill, where you
Not
can go and pick a
necessarily,
bird?
no. Lester Leemeyer and Bill Pinson and Stan Polona, they dealt with many, many, many people.
Uh-huh.
Many people. And they were good to all of them that I know of. I never seen no bad talk about them.
Good.
There was. It was through people that didn't understand them. They never did any wrong to me. Since I was 10 or 11 years old, and up to this day, I respect them. So, what people say out there is a whole different story than what's really being done with the birds. There's certain people now today that are raising birds and they're into it real deep and they're doing their bird thing with what Bill wanted to do, and Leroy Smith and Stan Polona, and me, if I might say so. And there's other people that'll just get birds out of pet shops, they cross them all up, they don't know what the heck they got. Or if you keep the blood true, like it was back when Bill and Polona and Smith were alive, then you have good top pigeons. Yeah, good top pigeons. But if they change that, which no one has control over, then they ruin it. You ruin a good strain of pigeons, it's like taking a good strain of racehorse and made it to a mule or something. You're ruining it. A lot of people don't know that. So that's on them, that ain't on.
When I met you in 1975, 75 or 76, you had an enormous line of fenced pigeons, like you still do
I
right now.
still do.
You still do, but I'm saying,
Not all my pigeons are here on this property. I have birds other places too, but I figure that's a personal thing that, is on me.
Pertaining to all the Pinson families, going back to 75, 76.
Okay.
I mean, man, you had a lot of Pinson pigeons. I mean, more than anybody that I knew.
Okay, you say a lot of Pinson pigeons, but now what is today's date? 1995. Okay, when you seen that was 19 what?
75.
Okay, there's
That was a long
20 years. Okay, Bill Pinson died in 1968. So you have to consider that year pattern, see? The birds will not live forever.
That's right.
They will not live forever. So what you have is the generations off of them, but at least it's pure. It's not messed with. It hasn't been made into pet shop birds or crossed.
Good.
The blood is still here. Charles Saldana has a lot of it, which I grant him all credibility. Charlie Saldana is one of my best friends, closest friends, because he's never crossed anything with the bird.
All single coop, all the way from the Pinson
Individual breeding, we never open loft breed, and it's worked for me, and I will not change that. A lot of people can breed open loft. That's their prerogative.
You made a positive statement one time. I remember one time I came over, and I'll probably remember it for the rest of my life. You said, John, if you can't go 2-3 generations removed from the Pinson birds in 30 years, you don't know a hell of being about rollers. That was a powerful statement.
I think it meant something.
Yes, that was
I'll
a good
say
statement.
it again today. Yes.
Yeah. Out of all the Pinson families, did you have a favorite? Like, I know you had red-headed hen. I know you had 514.
I have favorite colors.
You have favorite colors? What were your favorite
I
colors?
like my blue checkers and
like
black checkers, basically. But I like the grizzles and the badges. I like all colors. I love all colors. They're going to come in all colors. But the checkers are my favorite.
You really like to get an assortment of different colors. You don't just go one basic color.
Every color there is practically. I've got some that are two colors. Blue checker one side, red check the other. It's a genetic factor. Very few are ever, it's a split gene. through mating. Very few are ever produced. I have two. One was given to me out of old birds that I had produced many years back. The other one I raised. But they're not going to kick that back. I haven't got one out of them yet. But it is a specialty. You only get 1 in a million, maybe 1 in 2 million. And to me, they mean a lot. And people offer big dollars for them. I don't want to part with them. I mean, I love my birds just like everybody else loves their roller too. And
Like they're your children.
Well, the thing is, they act like they can just walk in here, take what they want, pick what they want for a couple of bucks. Well, it doesn't happen that way. This is not 1955. This is 1995. And I still have the same bloodline I had when I was 9, 10 years old. Okay, that's 50 years ago. That's 48 years ago. So give me a little credit on that. And then they come in, and all these years I spent on keeping the blood pure, they expect to get it for next to a nickel. It's not going to happen.
Some of the families are
No, I
almost
put
like
high
priceless.
value on my pigeons. I love them. And the dollar has changed. You go to the market, for $50 now you get 3 bags of groceries. Back in 1955, you could get 3 shopping carts full of groceries. You see how it's changed? And I'm talking quality pigeons. Great. If people want to change that quality and introduce it into another breed or bloodline, you might say, that is their prerogative. But I will not do that. And I think that's why my name has stood up pretty good. I don't have many people talk bad about me. I don't think. I haven't heard it anyway. Everybody's got birds for me all over, from Japan to Canada to Germany. I've shipped birds all over the world. I've never had a bad word. Nothing but good letters come back to me. So there's got to be a reason for that. If the birds are no good, then I wouldn't get good credibility.
Yeah, and your stock has gone on to make other families.
Same pigeons.
With pigeons.
Other families introduced to some of the same birds, out of Bills or Polona or Smith. In other words, they're not birds that somebody just got out of the pet shop. They are introduced to quality, purebred Pennsylvania, and that's the bottom line. It works. If you cross it, there's no guarantee of any kind.
Every time I came over to visit you, I noticed that there was a time that I could see the babies were all. I'd seen them synchronize. That babies were hatching all one day from another.
Things that other people have not even seen.
Yeah. I remember seeing all your birds, all the pairs that you put down, all the babies are hatching, all of at the same time.
Periodically.
Now, how do you get them to
I can't explain.
Will you put them down at the same time? What do you do? Put the cocks in the holdover pen?
They
the
stay
breeding pen?
here in the breakup cages during the summer months when it's hot. Yeah.
And then you mate them.
I put them back together in October. When it starts cooling, October, 1st of November. And they do well for me.
They just mate up real quick, and then they then they mate up.
Any way I want them, yeah.
You want them to mate up.
Put them in individuals
No
and
special.
mate them the way I want them.
Because
I make changes every year breeding. I don't put the same pairs together every year. I make changes.
Yeah. Do you leave a pair together? Do you prefer leaving a pair together, all year?
A long period of time, you mean for 2 or 3 years?
No, just for the season.
For
Or
the
you
season?
break up. Like if you got a
Some
special
pairs
cock,
I do for the one season. Others I'll break up. If
and
they're
then you
not
try
doing
with another
right.
hen.
It's like human beings. Maybe the marriage didn't work out, so they get a divorce. The birds are the same.
So
if
you
they're
try
not getting along, then separate them and put them with something else, and that might work. It'll get along. So you have to try that.
Because some don't get along.
Sure, some will not get along. The hen will beat the heck out of the cockbird, or vice versa. And if that's happening, then switch it. Something's wrong. They're not compatible, in other words. They're not getting along. But if you get that click, I have to change like 3 or 4 pairs out of 15 every season because they're not getting along. But most of them do pretty well.
When you get a click pair, do you leave them together permanently?
Maybe for a year, maybe 2 years, possibly 3. I've done it for 3 years on certain, maybe 1 or 2 pairs. Yeah, that's a good question.
And then you leave them together.
If they're clicking and they're hitting right, yes, sir.
giving all assortment of
But
colors.
I still have to go back to what I said. I like to make changes and switch
Okay.
them around. Just
Is this set up for the line breeding? For the line breeding?
basically, but also to get different colors. You don't want to raise all badges or all whites or all black checks, so I do it to change the color pattern too. Color has a lot to do with your bird's performance. They need to have color in them to keep that performance, believe it or not. I believe that.
Okay.
Now, this is something Bill told me many years ago. The color has a aspect there.
Like where if they go too dark, they go seldom.
If you raise all dark checkers, eventually you'll get birds coming in and rolling really excellent. But they'll come in later, like maybe 9 months to a year before they're rolling. Where if you put some color in there, the birds seem to come in at a better time, like 5 to 6 months, and you get your performance earlier. That's what I find in my birds.
Okay. That's
now,
good.
I don't know how somebody else's
understand.
birds do. I find that in my birds.
Does that happen too between the pearl and the orange eye? Because I know you try all kinds of
Eye
things.
has nothing to do. Eye is to
nothing to
see
do.
out of. They just see out of their
They
eyes.
just see
Eyes
out.
have nothing to do with it. They could be blind. It doesn't matter.
Do you practice intense inbreeding, like father to daughter, or brother and sister now, or you stay within a line breeding program like cousins?
I put birds together. When I mate my birds every season, I feel the bodies and I mate body to body, best to best. That's hard to explain and maybe hard for some people to understand because if they're not advanced enough to know what a body feels like and how it's supposed to feel, how are they going to do that? They don't know.
And
I'm
you
not
just go
bragging
by
on
the
that.
old.
I'm not bragging on that, but that's how I mate my pigeons. The body style is how I mate them. The body style is what makes the birds roll. You get a big, heavyweight pigeon, supposedly roller pigeon like some of these shows have. Those birds couldn't fly across the street. No. But when you got the body, there's your rolling performance, the whole thing's there. They have to have that type. And that
Nice
takes a
apple
lot
bottom.
to explain that.
But you're like a carpenter that already knows how to make that cut.
I think
You already
so.
know.
I
what
think
you're
so.
looking for.
But after 48 years or so, I think it's going to come. If you've got the qualities, it's going to show. There's a lot of guys out there that have the same qualities. They haven't been in birds 48 years. And when I'm dead and gone, like Bill and Leroy Smith and Pensum, then maybe those people down the road will start showing some of those qualities. But the only way they're going to do that is to keep quality pigeons. If they cross them with junk, then they're going to have junk.
Bob, I happen to know for a fact that you have maintained this family without really bringing in outside stock.
No outside birds
No
have come
outside
into this
stock.
family or this bloodline or this strain of pigeons except Stan Polona, Leroy Smith.
And that's way back then.
That's it. I have not changed my pigeons. I could take them back to 1921. You're going to have with a Crystal Palace hen or cock or whatever it was. And the old birds that were originally shipped over here in 1947 by Bill Pensum himself. They'll all come up on the end of the sheet. And I do not cross nothing else in there. And that's why I say you go back to the same thing again. They cross it with something else, nothing guaranteed.
Bob,
You're guaranteed. If you're using quality, you're guaranteed. You can't lose.
Well, what made you decide to stick with a pigeon strain of pigeons?
Because I haven't seen anything better. Nowhere in the United States. Not that I've traveled or I am a traveler, but I hear a lot from out of state.
Get a lot of reviews.
They can't beat it. They can't beat it.
this particular family has taken the line breeding and still maintaining
It's
good
been
qualities.
no, it's been continued, John.
It's been continued.
I have continued it.
It's continued.
Okay, correct.
For so many years.
Okay. Through Charles Saldana, it has been also continued. Now, when I die or pass away, which is going to be a long time, then
Right,
Charlie is younger than me. He will continue to keep that straight, pure blood. He's got all this stuff on the computer, and it's right, and there's no mistakes, there's no mess-ups. No one's perfect, but that's as close as you're going to get. He doesn't cross any other birds except the birds that are from this bloodline.
Bob, as far as I know, Bob, I've never seen you breed open lot.
I will not. I refuse to do that.
Nor Charlie.
You cannot do that and be sure of what you're getting out of your birds.
All right, Bob. That's for the
You cannot be sure. A female will go down on the floor to eat grain or whatever, and a male will top her, if I might say that on camera. And another male will come and knock him off, and
that's all it takes, huh, Bob?
yes, and court her, and you don't know which one fertiled. It could be either one of those two males. So open breeding, you're going to have these problems. Where if you breed individual like I've bred all my life, I don't believe in any other way to breed. You're not going to have a mistake. They cannot get to each other. There is no mistake. What's on that card out of that pair and goes into my book, is registered into my books, is what happened. But if you're open lot breeding, you can't guarantee what's in your books. And if these people out there think they can, they're full of beans.
Bob.
They can't guarantee
Bob,
that. Now that's the God's truth.
Bob,
they can't.
Would you breed out of a non-spinner?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Sometimes that's your best breeder. A bird that just flip-flop for 2 or 3 years, that could become your best breeder.
As long as he has all the government, right?
If he has the bloodline is right, yes, use it.
You're not afraid to use a bird like that?
No way. I use a lot of them. I've got 8 or 10 in there breeding now that never did nothing but 2 years and nothing but tumble. But their babies do.
Yeah.
Nature sets that up. It runs in a process of a stopping point. And then when you get to that stopping point, which is the bird tumbling out of deep rollers somewhere down the line, okay, that's nature's way of stopping that. Or we would have no rollers. They'd all roll down, you'd kill them all. So nature sets that up as a stopping point. Sometimes that's your best breeder. You take the tumbler, breed it back to a deep roller, and then you equalize that. That's an equalization. Now that's my belief. And Bill Pensum, and Stan Plona, and Leroy Smith.
So you're not one that breeds like champion, the champion, champion,
no,
the champion.
No.
You know.
No. If I look at a bird and something about it catches my eye, I don't care if it's rolling, if I've seen it go 30 feet tight and right or not. It doesn't matter. If the body style is right, I'm not worried about the roll. It's gonna roll. The young are gonna roll. It's automatic.
You know, I know for a fact, because I know Charlie, I've known you for a lot of years, that because you guys have kept this family together and have cultivated for so many years that like you said, you know, the bird doesn't have to keep keeping the quality. That you guys, if you get a pigeon that doesn't roll, like it flips, like you said, or a non-spinner, without question, you'll use that bird in the breeding pen.
Directly, no problem.
No problem.
If the body is what I want to use, in proportion to what I want to mate it to, I'll use it. I'm not worried about.
You know, Pensum thought the same way. You know,
I don't worry about what the roll is. I don't pick a bird out there and say, "Oh, I'm going to breed that one."
Yeah.
Baloney. I'm going to watch that one. And what I'm going to do is make sure I put that pair back together that made that one. See what I'm saying? That's what you want. So leave that pair because you got it. But if you break that pair up, then you say, well, I'm going to use that one back to another bird. You're taking that same little chance. You might get a good one and you might not. But if you got the pair that made the one that's doing what you want to see, why break it up? Leave it alone. Now that might make sense to some people. It certainly makes sense to me. Why mess up a good thing? That's like taking a good tire off a car. Okay, it's still good and everything, but you don't like the name brand. So you chuck it and you put something else on it. And the tire blows out on it. You should have left the one on there. Wasn't nothing wrong with it. What's that commercial on TV about something? Well, if it ain't broke, why fix it? Same thing. If the birds are doing well, why change them?
Well, this is a good question I want to ask you.
Go.
Do you think that we have improved the Birmingham roller?
I think they've been improved to a certain
in performance. You think?
Sure.
You think?
Up to this date now, 1995, to back in 1955, most certainly. If they have not been improved, then where did this whole thing go? Nowhere.
They go nowhere.
That's right.
So
it has been improved by certain breeders, not by all of them, but certain ones have improved. I feel they have, yeah. That's a good question. But I feel they're better now than they were.
Do you work out a pigeon when you bring him into the stock lot? I mean, before you say he makes it as a breeder, and when he and no way, man, this bird's not gonna make it as a breeder. I mean, and he's culled out of the breeding program. How long do you work a bird?
Sometimes one season, if I'm not happy with what comes out, then I change a mate. Sometimes I'll work that bird for 9 years on other birds, switch mating.
Okay.
So it depends on the bird, if it's doing right for me, for what I'm looking for.
But if he doesn't do it off the top,
Then it's out, I'll put it back in the air.
you put it back in the air.
Yeah.
That's what you do with birds that don't work out.
Yeah, if it doesn't produce what I'm looking for, then I put it back in the air.
Did it take a season for you to know that, or a couple of seasons?
One season will tell you usually.
One season will tell you.
Usually that'll tell you.
It'll tell you.
If you raise 6 to 8 youngsters a season, you'll know. Out of that amount, you'll know.
Usually, you will try. If you do like the bird, if the bird was a good one in the air, you will try him on something else before you take him out of the breeding compartment, huh? Like try him a second season. You try him a second season on something else.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Not always.
Not always.
No.
Usually, it's back up into the air again. Because
Yeah,
you've maintained your family for a lot of years, and there's got to be that. And you've done a hell of a job, and there's got to be something that you do to keep them going, and you
I can explain that.
You eliminate the ones that don't work, and then you keep the ones
Okay,
that
let's
do
put
work.
it this way. God gave me a gift. God gave Bill Penson a gift. He gave Kelowna a gift. He gave Leroy Smith a gift.
The green thumb.
Think about
green
that
thumb.
now. So I was gifted with something that maybe some of these other people don't have. I'm not bragging. I'm not trying to be big-headed, but it takes a little bit of knowledge to really find out what the heck you're doing without asking somebody else questions about it. When you can automatically go ahead and do it yourself, and then people are asking you questions, then you got to have some kind of a gift. Now that's the way I look at that. Why did people go to Bill Penson or Kelowna or Smith and ask them, oh, well, how do you make your birds? How do you do this? Just like you're asking me right now. Okay, it's a gift that's given to you. I believe that you can't go around and find everybody that has that. They don't. You can put 7 pigeons up there in a shell cage, and 3 of them will be rolled down. I don't even know these pigeons. I could pick all 3 of them out and tell you those 3 will roll down. Those are okay. Just picking them up, and they're not in my bird. Now that's a gift.
Discernment.
That's a gift. You can give me an unbanded pigeon, and I can tell you how old it is.
Or if it's pure or not.
Yeah, direct. Oh, no problem. It's a gift. And thank God that He gave me that gift. I utilize that. And if people want to call me a liar or a bunch of baloney or whatever, that's okay. That's on them. I don't care. I don't fly competition anymore. I don't do those things basically because a lot of it's turned into red tape, and certain people will change the rules before the season's even over because it doesn't suit them. Now, I think that's a little wrong. Once you make rules, go by them. Everybody goes by the same rules. And certain people will get a little higher up into a club. They will change their... I've seen this many, many times over the years. They'll change the rules according to what they want. Well, what about all the other people that are in that club? That's unfair. I think that's unfair. Leave the rules the way they are the whole season. At the end of the season, have a meeting with the basics of the club, the competitors, not the flounders that play games, but the competitors that are really doing that fly thing. Have a meeting. If they want to change rules, change them, and then next season do that. But they change rules every 3 months. There's no standard for it. It's baloney. That's why I quit flying. I just like to sit in my backyard, let my birds out and watch. I love that because I don't have to put up with all their red tape and whatever they want to call it. I've got a name for it, but I won't say it on film. So, yeah, well, I'm realistic
Bob,
on
let me
that.
ask you another question, Bob. Bob, does a 15-year-old cock or a 10-year-old cock, can he produce the same quality youngster as a 5-year-old, 8-year-old, 7-year-old? Because I hear people say that 7-year-old pigeons, man, that's the prime when they produce quality. Can a 15-year-old produce a quality youngster?
That has nothing to do with it.
So
1220 was I'll bring that bird up.
Okay, as an
1220,
example.
1968, MBRC 1220. That was abandoned. Okay, that bird produced till he was 22 years old. His son, number 44, 1971. That bird produced till he was 20 years old. And the quality's there. If you have quality, it is not going to disappear. The age has nothing to do with it. It's 1 year old or 19 years old. It does not matter.
Does that
The
apply to
bird
the
burns
hens?
out, it burns out.
Does that apply to the hens too? So in other words, the last egg there could be a golden eagle in there. I mean the hens. I mean when they're
Golden
old
eggs.
and they lay there when they're 10, 12 years of age.
Okay, what do
And
you
then-
call an old, a hen? What's old to you? What's old to you as a hen? I'm gonna
I
ask
would
you
say an
one.
old hen is something over 10 years.
9 years, maxed out. They'll start laying little pumpkins and footballs.
But can
and
they
stuff
lay?
wet.
Can that little?
I've only seen very few hens over thousands of pigeons over 9 years, a female roller pigeon that will still produce a decent egg and go ahead in production properly. After 9 years, depending on how long they've been using it, if they're burnt out or what.
Oh, okay.
Depends on who uses
Okay.
them and where they've
But
been.
even when they
It
lay,
won't happen.
when they lay at their 9th year, 10 year, that little egg, can that be a golden child inside it? Can they still
If
lay
it's
it?
little, it ain't worth a diddly
Oh,
dog.
that's interesting.
No. That just shows you signs that that bird is burning out. The female is burning out.
Do you think inbreeding can cause them to burn out, to not last, the
Inbreeding,
longevity?
no.
Nothing. It has nothing
That
to do
has
with it.
nothing to do with it.
Like you know what I'm talking about, right?
Okay,
you
if I
inbreed
might,
a family,
if I might quote on
longevity
that,
won't be there.
if I
That's
quote
not
on
the
that,
case. Yeah.
Lester Leemeyer, Bill Pensum, J. Leroy Smith, Kelowna, they have mated brother and sister together and didn't even know it.
Wow.
Because they put bodies together just like I have been taught through these people. You put body to body, best to best. You do not mate according to, oh, this is 514, that's Leroy Smith. Hell, it's all the same.
Uh-huh.
It goes back to the same pigeons. Leroy Smith, Lester Leemeyer, Bill Pensum, and Kelowna, it's all the same pigeons. They came from a few pairs that were shipped over here from England through Bill Pensum in 1947. Every good roller purebred you see in the United States today came from those pairs. And I can prove it. I can prove it. So I don't care what they say. I don't. You can make brother and sister together. That doesn't make any difference.
That's
Some of
not
the
gonna make
best
them
rollers
fun.
I've raised came out of brother and sister mating. It's body structure to body structure. The only time you will get it'll either be a total default or it will continue to be strong. It ain't going to be in between anywhere. They'll come out with web feet or a crooked keel or twisted beaks. That's a default. Then you cannot make those two brother and sister. But if they come out strong, no problem. So it can be done is what I'm saying. It can be done. But if they come out bad, then break it up. But it can be done. No, I don't bar that. That's the question you asked me. Do you bar or against mating brother and sister or inbreeding? Same thing. No, I do not bar that. But you have to watch how the babies come out. Because they're either going to be strong or they're going to be weak. There's not going to be an in-between. There is no in-between.
Well, you've maintained this family for how long?
This is going on 49 years.
That's a lot of line breeding.
I think so.
What were some of the best pigeons that you got in your years?
They're all best to me. I love them all. They're all
Your
good.
favorite ones.
I have no favorites.
You have no favorite ones.
The rollers themselves are my favorites. That's the truth of my heart. The roller pigeons themselves are my favorite. Color pattern does not matter to me. I was answering that earlier to John. I like blue checkers. I prefer that because that's basically what I started out with. But all colors is fine. I am not color prejudiced.
There.
On the nest is a blue grizzle cock, white eyes, white wings, and the hen is a blue bar cell, pearl eyes. Slow, you gotta move it slow. Slow, bro, slow. In the nest, a red checker hen, and on the outside of the bowl, right there on the bowl, is a red checker white-winged cock. Slow, 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 slow. Slow. A blue checker mixed wing and a red checker cock. So you can learn how they put the colors together. Red checker cock on a red bar mealy hen.
Ábrelos puertas.
A black mixed wing cock and a dark check hen. Take a look at the mosaic, Pete, right here. Mosaic, Peter. Look at the mosaic on the wing butts. That's a nice pair. Down over here. Red bar mealy with black flecking and a red bar white wing badge. Bob has some extraordinary beautiful birds. Right here. Beautiful. Look at the type. That's a red bar mealy. Red bar mealy. And a red bar badge white wing. I think the cock is the mealy in the nest, and the red bar badge hen. She's the hen. White pair, probably of the red-headed hen. Red-headed hen whites. Bob has a ton of red-headed hen, 514 and a 183 of all Penson blood. Lester Lemeyer blood, Stamplona, Smith. But I think Bob's been leaning his family more 514, 183, and red-headed hen. Those are the families that have dominated the order of things over the years for Bob.
That might help a little bit. That was business I had to take care of.
That's fine.
As you can see, they're very typey. Bob knows what he likes. No excessive necks on them. Not really high ranged in feet. The birds are very typey. Of course, he has over 40 some years under his belt. He knows what a good bird should look like and what it should feel like. Let me give you the colors. That's a blue checker mixed wing whitetail and a blue checker badge hen, near ball. And bring this over here, Pete. It's a red model hen on a tortoiseshell bronze with black patching. And a red checker cock on another red checker hen. Look at the type, Peter. What do you think of the type?
Look excellent, all of them.
Good. Listen up, Joe. Okay, look it over here. Beautiful birds. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I had no idea that Bob had, had him this good. I mean, he's improved him. Pure bill pencils. Over here. The last pair.
They're all medium-sized pigeons, wouldn't you say?
It's medium to small.
Medium to small, yeah.
I have a family from Bob Scott and myself, through the way of Jerry Higgins and Charlie Saldana, that I've been cultivating for about 15 years. But Bob has the whole family. He has the whole family. He has the reds and the dark checks and the tortoiseshells and the grizzles and the reds and the lavenders. I only have the 514 branch and the red and the hen. That's one of my favorite families, so that's what I've been cultivating for 15, 16 years from Bob. But as you can see, Bob has the whole 9 yards. Red and hen whites. This is something that I don't even have. Pretty nice, huh? Bob has so many people coming over and buying birds that, as you can see, he doesn't get a chance to fill up the cages, but he's going full idle. He's going full idle, but so many people want his birds that he can't make them fast enough. It's an incredible family. The 9648 blood. That goes back to 183.
Come on, let's go.
Oh, you're just getting some birds now, right?
Part of the birds out. There's young mixed. I'm just training with them. And then I will add the rest of them in with them as they get going. That way it helps train the young. Okay?
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
How do I look?
All right.
He's okay. I like that guy.
He's like Charlie a little bit, Bob.
Charlie's one of my best friends.
He's a very dedicated guy to the rollers.
I've known Charlie since he was 14. He's one of my best friends. He always will be. Charlie's okay.
He's got a nice family of birds.
Like that's part of them, and I'll run them up, and then I will let the others out with them. This time of the year, you're training
Get
the
closer to
young,
him, Pete.
and you have to mix your young with your older birds as they get flying, so they don't pick up bad habits. That's a purpose for that. Because the old birds are already educated, so you have to run the young with them so they learn to not make mistakes like sit on a telephone pole or go sit in a tree. They will follow the older bird.
How long you been doing this program, Bob?
Same thing, 48 years, no difference. I was one of the few that were lucky enough to meet the right people at a young age and got started right. And I was lucky. There, a young one went lifting a tree there, see? But they're getting it pretty good. They're learning.
Okay.
Your young birds will get in that whirly bird thing. They'll do that when they're young. As they get a little age, then they go right up without a problem. But this is the beginning of breeding season again for me this year, so I'm flying the young birds. That's it.
How old are some of these birds right here, Bob?
It varies. There's a few that are like probably a year old that from last season. See?
Have you bred out of any of
And
these pigeons?
Basically, most of them are like anywhere from 3 months to 4 months old, 5 months. Yeah, basically.
Oh.
There's a few older ones in there.
Have you
Not
bred
many.
out? Have you bred out of any of the older pigeons in this kit?
No. No. These are all young flyers.
Any prospects?
Always. You always have prospects.
There goes that other kit right behind this lower kit.
They'll pick them up. They'll get together.
This family has good kidding ability. They stay together real tight.
Well, these young that are mixed in there now was a team next to the older ones that were flying good. Okay, when you mix them, then they'll teach them much quicker. These young birds that are in there flying now have only been up off of the roof 4 times. And they're already learning to kit and elevate a bit, which is pretty darn good.
So the theory of birds flying tightly together in due to small kit boxes is a bunch of baloney.
I think so.
Because these birds are being flown out of a big kit box, and they're flying about as tight as you can get. So it's in the family, huh?
I could put a television and a spa in there. a
Yeah.
kit box, that's on a person's prerogative if that's what they want to fly out of.
Uh-huh.
That's their prerogative.
But they fly tight. They fly tight together. Without question.
That has no effect on how the birds are going to kit. The birds either have the intelligence to kit or they don't.
Uh-huh.
The loft has nothing to do with it.
All right, well.
People usually fly out a small loft because there's space. They want the space.
Uh-huh.
If you have space, then let them have some space in the loft. If you don't have the space in your backyard, portable lofts are fine. I don't disagree with them. They're fine. But if you got birds rolling deep and really burning on you, you confine them in a little box like that, and you let them out, and you're going to pick up some pigeons off the ground. Because they don't like to be confined like that. They need their freedom, just like people.
Uh-huh.
You get put in jail or in an apartment, you're confined. When you get out of there, you take a deep breath and go, all right. Correct?
Right.
Same thing with a bird. But you give them some space, now they can handle being penned up 2 or 3 days. But you pen up birds in a little kit box for 2 or 3 days, and if you got birds rolling and you let them out, you're going to pick up some pigeons because they're going to hit the ground.
Hear that, Pete?
Yeah, I'm
That's
getting
pretty
it.
good stuff, Bob.
Think about that.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I noticed your pins are not dark neither, so that theory's out the door too. Then.
A dark tube is going to make the theory I just threw at you. It's going to make it worse.
Yeah.
You're confining them.
And then the dark.
If they're already confined and they got a little light, okay, then you take the light away. That's like double indemnity.
Yeah.
They're gone. They're going to roll down, man, coming out of the hole. I don't care if they're 10-footers. They're going to hit the ground coming out of the hole. And if you don't believe me, try it. And I'll bet you 10 to 1 them people out there are going to say, hey, he's right.
You're right,
they've
Bob.
seen it happen, but they don't want to admit that. They say, this is working okay for me. I like it. Fine, that's their prerogative. I want a loft I can walk into with good air, good ventilation. If I want, I'll put a stool in there and sit on it and talk to the little bird. That's my way of breeding. If they want to confine their birds in a little 3-foot box, that's their prerogative. That's not on me.
And there's an advantage of that too. Like you said, walking in your pen, you can learn their characteristics a little bit more. You can't learn them.
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
You can't learn their characteristics in a little kid
I
box.
can walk in that loft and them birds do not get scattered or spooked. But a stranger goes in there, they go bananas because they know a stranger. Your birds get to where they know you. And a lot of people may not believe that, but that's also on them. I'm not one to say, hey, this is how it has to be. It's however they want to train. Different people train different ways. This is my way of training. I'm happy with it. I've tried kit boxes. I've done all of that. I put kit boxes in the back of pickup trucks and go down the street 20 miles and let a kid out and fly them. After they get a little age on them, boom, there's history. They're gone. You don't lose them. The birds have a home. They're bred here. They want to fly here. They live here. You take them away from their home in a little box, 3 by 3, you're going to lose them pigeons. You are not going to put them back in that back of that pickup truck and bring them down. They're going to get age and they're going to fly away on you.
Do you think that, to restate this, do you think that flying out of a little kit box, small kit box, and then also kit being dark, do you think it's due to, this can bring about overflies too? Because you know how they come out of the box and they just take off.
I don't really think that.
You don't think so?
No. Because I lose pigeons right here.
So that's below
You
you
couldn't
too.
ask for a better place to fly to.
Yeah.
I lose them right here. Sometimes I've lost 20, 30 birds a time. They go up to infinity, they go over the mountain, and they're history. You never see them again. Now, I can't really explain that. I don't think any roller pigeon breeders can.
Yeah.
You're taking your chances of 50-50 every time you fly your kit. You're taking a 50-50 chance of losing the bird. Every time. I don't care if the weather's perfect. And I think any top breeder or someone that's been around a while that has flown kit the birds will tell you the same thing. You're taking a chance every time you lose.
So this particular family, when does the mechanism of roll comes in? Like, does it come in early or medium or
There is no set pattern.
No fixed order.
No.
No fixed order.
Your birds can come in at 3 months and roll 30 feet. I've seen them do it. I visualize that every season. They can come in at 7, 8 months, 9 months. There is no set pattern for when a bird's going to come in and start rolling. There's no set pattern for that.
When you made them in the breeding loft, do you make the early developers, the late developers, or you're not afraid to put 2 late birds together or 2 early birds together?
Like I was saying earlier, I don't go by how they come in or how they roll. I go by body size. Period. That's it. Bottom line. You don't make birds together because the paper looks right, 514 to Smith and all that stuff. You're not making paper.
That's ridiculous.
You're not making paper together, John. You're making birds. You're putting body to body. There's your rolling quality.
You made a bird by pedigree alone.
A pedigree sheet doesn't roll. If it does, you tell me. I ain't seen one roll yet. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, there you are. The pigeons roll. So you make the pigeons, body to body. You don't make paper. Like I gotta have 514 made it to 514 because that's what the paper says.
Baloney.
That's baloney. 514, red-headed hen, Leroy Smith, Kelowna. It's all the same pigeon.
It's all the same thing.
It's the same pigeon. Everybody says, well, I want red-headed hen.
Or I won't
514 is the same thing.
Or I
Leroy
won't
Smith
use-
and
I
Kelowna
won't use
raised
that.
514.
I won't use that pigeon because it's got red in the hand, or I won't use that
That's
514
baloney.
bird because it got
That
just
shows
baloney.
how much that person knows.
That's just baloney. Man.
They're mating paper. They're not mating birds. There's 514 and Kelowna and Leroy Smith and red-headed hen all through these pigeons. It's the same pigeons.
Especially the pets and families.
Exactly. They don't realize that. Good Lord. That's like, okay, you have a strain of Palomino horse. Then you have a strain of Palomino horse. Okay, you bring in an outbreed, a quarter horse or something, or a smaller race horse. You mix that with the Palominos. There goes your bloodline. Bye. But nothing's mixed. This is all the same bloodline. It has not been mixed.
But I know you, Bob, you keep accurate records.
Very accurate.
Accurate records.
I'm very hard on that because I believe in
reading records and stuff.
Sure. My God, when your mother had...
Can you restate that again where you said, of course, it's very important, real important to
It's very important. If
to
you're
have
going to keep
reading
a bloodline going
and individual
and
group is
keep
important.
with it, if you want to mess it up, it's real easy to mess it up.
So open lot breeding, you might as well throw out the
I don't
better
recommend it, but it's not my prerogative to tell a person not to do it. I do not recommend it. I won't do it. I'm against it. But I won't break somebody else's belief. If they believe that open loft is okay, let them do it.
So if birds come, say for instance, if I get birds that come from open loft breeding, and then they claim that they show me a big fancy pedigree, there's no guarantee that those birds are what they say they are.
You got it. You get a bird from me, I'll guarantee it. It's in my book, it's guaranteed.
But a lot of people that breed those old Fenton birds or Fenton families with open loft,
any difference.
it's just an old...
If they got a mixed open loft, John, like I was explaining earlier, the male can top and knock a male off and bang that female.
That's right.
You don't know which one fertiled that egg. If you do, you're just kidding yourself.
This is why you're so hard in not
Yeah,
breeding
I
outside
am
families.
hard.
You don't
very
breed no
hard.
outside families, huh?
I'm hard on the bird because I believe the only way you're going to have quality is to be hard on it.
Be
If
hard
you get
on.
loose with it, you're going to have junk. You can't get loose. You got to be hard. You got to train hard. You got to breed hard. You got to do it right and keep it straight, or it's going to go crooked. And I believe in that. I always have and always will. These guys, that's their prerogative. They can breed any way they want. They're not going to change my pattern because I'm happy with it. My birds are all over the country. I'm not bragging or being big-headed. They are. You can look at paper on anybody's sheet that got decent birds rolling. My name is going to be somewhere on that sheet.
You know,
I'll
Cornell.
bet you anything.
You know, Cornell Norwood stock
Very well.
has your breeding in it. You know that, right?
Yeah, he's also very dead. So see what I'm saying there?
Alton also has
You know,
your...
this is something that happened. It's something that happened.
There's a lot of people that got
If you, right, if you open on breed, it's fine. That's just something somebody wrote on paper. I can't hold up to that or stand up for it because I didn't breed it here the way I would breed it. So I can't not breed it. That's their prerogative. But I wouldn't give you 10 cents for it.
You wouldn't use a bird like
I
that.
wouldn't even think of it. I wouldn't even give it a chance. No way. No.
You're one of the last of the Mohicans, Bob.
Well, whatever. You don't see no feather on the back of my hair coming up, but I ain't gonna breed that way.
All right,
That's
all right.
my belief, and I'm sticking to it.
All right.
What's that song? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I think you've heard that probably on the radio. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And that's it. No, I know I'm honest about it. I do not cheat in my book. I've seen people cheat in books and write paper that isn't even proper. Because they say, oh, well, this will be all right. They ain't gonna know. Well, hell no, they ain't gonna know, because there's no way you can prove it. I don't have to prove my paper. I know it's right. So that's the way I breed, and you see how I breed. He's got pictures of how I breed. Now, how can you make a mistake breeding that way? You can't. That chicken can't get in there and make this one mistake. They've got their own little apartments. They cannot mess with each other.
There's been a lot of guys that have done, that have made big pedigrees on birds.
A lot of it's true, and
They
a
go
lot
back
of
to
it's
fence
not.
them, and it's just for the sales pitch.
They're selling paper. That goes back to what I said earlier. If they're going to make birds according to paper, they're making paper. You're not watching paper roll. You're watching pigeons roll. Make pigeons don't make paper. I've got birds from Bill Penson and Leroy Smith and Florna. I don't have paper on them. I go according to what they produce and what their body style is. I go by body. I don't go by what's on the paper. I don't care about that paper. I can write anything I want on that paper if I wanted to. I could, John, but that ain't right. It's not right. I'm not fooling nobody but myself. You might believe it, he might believe it, or somebody else might believe what I write on there and sign it. Does that prove that that's correct? Hell no. Excuse my language again. It don't prove it. But I know it's right. When I write a sheet, it's right. So I won't write. And I haven't had a bird yet I couldn't write a sheet on because I know it's right. I go to my book, it's right. I'm proud of it. That's keeping the blood line right. Yeah, that's what that first get. First get. All they're doing is kidding us.
What, Doug Doherty, he's your friend, right?
Well, I know Doug well, you're very well, yeah.
He had a real nice family from Bill Benson too, didn't he?
He had some of the top quality pigeons, yes. Oh yeah.
Did you use some of the birds that he got from Benson?
I used some birds through Doug that he got from a man in down off the beach. Okay, it was red-headed hen basically anyway. Sons and daughters.
Doug Doherty.
Yeah, Doug Doherty. Okay, he checked the birds out through Bill Penson, and it was a legitimate situation. So
Hardcore Benson stuff on it.
Pardon me?
Hardcore Benson stuff on it.
Oh yeah, straight. Which is Kelowna Smith. Same thing.
Did you see the 514, Bob?
Oh yeah, I've seen her. Oh
Well,
yeah.
you handled her and everything.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No kidding.
Oh, very much so. Red-headed hen too.
You handled her and
They were
everything?
both very deep fish. They were 60, 70 foot low. Oh yeah.
Oh, you seen them in the air as well?
No, I just understood that from Bill. He told me that, and I believe what he said. But I've held the birds. Oh yeah.
No kidding.
He gave me a son and a daughter right off the red-headed hen. Just give them to me. So, you know.
And those
And
are the
he
ones
also
that
gave me a
are in this family, Bob?
Oh yeah, they're in the papers too. Birds right today. He also gave me a grandmother to the red-headed hen. I mated that. Kelowna raised it. See? You're right back. Okay, the grandmother to the red-headed hen, Stan Kelowna, raised it, sent it to Bill Penson. I got it from Bill, mated it to a direct son off of the red-headed hen, another grandmother to grandson. Boom. You're right back in that blood, dude.
That's what's in these pigeons right here.
All of them. Every one of them. 514 is just like a brother to the red-headed and her sister. Same blood, Leroy Smith Kelowna. Same thing.
Did you see 145?
Uh-huh.
The grandfather
Blue
of
tender
120?
white blood, yes sir.
Was
Howard
he
McCullough
a
had it
dandy?
the day he died. That bird was still alive as far as I know.
He's one of the pigeons behind all your birds, right?
That's Leroy Smith. Same thing. They can say what they want. 145, J. Leroy Smith, the man on the other leg. They took the man off that leg, 145. They didn't say nothing about Leroy Smith. The name man on the other leg. People don't even know that. Because they never cared enough about it to keep the record straight to find that out. So that's on them also. That ain't on me. And if they want to check it out, let them check it out. Go back to anybody's record, you're going to find that. 145 was bred out of Leroy Smith pigeon. It goes right to it. Same as 514 and red-headed hen. Same thing. They're out of the same kind of pigeon, same bloodline.
Frank Lehman also, he got a lot of birds from you too, didn't he?
Yeah, you got quite a few, yeah.
He got a few from you. And Eldon, and you go back a long ways, right,
Very
Eldon?
much so, oh yeah.
Did you and Eldon raise up
Same pigeon.
from young teenagers? I mean, high school kids? Or
No.
how did you meet Eldon?
At a pigeon show, if I can remember right. That's been many, many years back.
You guys go back a long ways, huh?
Yeah, quite a way.
He also had a lot of Pensa pigeons.
All
huh?
straight Penson, Leroy Smith, and Kelowna. Eldon McDowell had nothing that wasn't straight. He bred open law, but at least he kept the blood there. There was nothing mixed in that.
Uh-huh.
Eldon didn't mix it.
Out of all the old timers, besides Pensa and Lester Lemar, who were the other guys that you admired their pigeons? Was there anybody else?
Not many.
Not many, yeah.
I'm sorry to say that. Not many.
You knew Dick Stevens too, right?
Very well, yeah, I knew Dick very well.
You knew Dick Stevens.
Dick Stevens basically redheaded him. He liked him.
He liked the red-headed hen, Dick
Sure,
Stevens.
but he rolled a lot of pigeons down. People didn't know that. Red-headed hen was a difficult bird to breed, that was, because there's a lot of, they either roll down, or once in a while you get lucky and get one that was stable, or they wouldn't roll at all.
And the
That
514.
was a hard bird to breed.
And the 514.
Same thing.
And she was hard to breed too, huh?
Not only that, but most of the young out of that and that family of 514, which is the same thing. Only it was a little different. It was basically black checkers. 98% of them, 514. Everything you see, look at 514, it's black checker or black or something.
Did you ever go to Manhattan Beach and see the layout that Dick had out there?
Oh yeah, yeah, I bet. Oh yeah, I bet.
He had a layout, huh?
Oh, it was nice, sure. But
You
what
know-
the hell's a layout?
There's cages and stuff.
A layout don't mean nothing. You can build a little thing out of a chicken coop and put pigeons in there and raise just as good a pigeon.
Yeah, that's right.
Your layout has nothing to do with it. That's according to how much that man has to spend on his loft. Period.
Yeah.
As long as you take care of the birds, how they're housed has nothing to do with the performance or anything as far as I'm concerned. I've seen some real fine pigeons fly out of chicken crate. So, yeah. So see, that means nothing. Rhonda, get that!
So you know Ralph Hilton, Danny McKenzie.
Very well. Oh yeah.
All of them. Bill Patrick's.
Uh-huh.
You know all those guys.
Bill Patrick, Dick Stevens, all of them. Yeah.
You know all those guys.
They were all very good friends. They still are. I just haven't seen them in a lot of years.
But Bob Scott, hardcore from the beginning to
Don't
to
call
the
me
end.
hardcore. I'm the soft-hearted.
I mean the hardcore pertains to the rollers.
Well, that's on some people's opinion. See?
But you've always stayed with it, John.
I just didn't change the
That's what I
birds.
mean.
I stayed with what I got when I started because I couldn't find nothing better. I haven't to this day. Not to this day. I haven't found a better bird than Bill Penson pigeons or Leroy Smith or Quanah, which is all the same birds. I haven't found a better pigeon. All you get pigeons within the United States are out of something from those three people. And if you
That's
don't
true.
believe me, check their records. If they wrote their records proper, it's going to go right back to one of them three people. At the end, one way or another. There's no way around it.
Bob, we'd like to thank you, man, for
You don't have
giving
to
us
thank
an
me.
opportunity
I just
to.
hope some people out there understand what I'm saying and they can take it for heed. For
Thank
what
you,
it's
Bob.
worth.
I'm thanking you, Bob. And I know Pete's thanking you too for giving us an opportunity to talk pigeons.
That's not a problem on me. I
And,
enjoy talking
you've always-
pigeons.
you've always been my friend,
I love
Bob.
the birds. I like to talk about them. I love them.
We go back a long ways.
I don't like people that are liars and cheats and try to make things up that aren't really there. That's
Okay.
the only people I'm against. And there's some out there in the pigeon world. Everybody knows that. It's not just me. There's other people who know that. And all they're doing is kidding themselves. When you take a young kid and you start him in pigeons, you put him in right and put him in the right track and put him with good pigeons, a pure bloodline, fine, he has a chance. But when people sidetrack a kid that doesn't know any better, and they've got a crossbreed of a pet shop pigeon to something that's good, and they're feeding this kid this, I might say crap, period, which isn't really a bad word, but that's what it comes out. It can't put good to something poor and come out with something good. It ain't gonna work. You gotta put best to best. As long as you keep your bloodline right, you're basically at the best. You're gonna have some faulty pigeons, even in the quality birds. Some racehorses, top quality racehorses, or top quality dogs at dog shows, pedigree dogs. You're gonna get a bad dog once in a while. You're gonna get a bad horse once in a while. The pigeons are the same thing. And I admit that to the total max. I'm not ashamed to say that. I don't breed all champion pigeons or all perfect pigeons. That's impossible. You're dealing with nature. I'm down.
I don't have no reason to. People that lie have a reason to lie. It's because they're afraid of something.
I'll bet you we got more information out of you than those other people that came.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Pete?
Oh yeah, quite a bit more. Yeah.
And it's real.
Because we went to the understanding that this is how we're going to do this. Their understanding did not really come true with what they wanted. You know, it was a bunch of bullshit.
I'll give my information away for free if the guy just asks for it. But if he says he's gonna give me something for it, then I expect to get it. I didn't get it. And it pisses me off. You guys are real. You want to come and take movies and talk, and that's fine. We'll do that. That would be understanding. You got 5 times the information. And half the time.
And half the time,
Sure, because I'm not afraid to tell you that. I was afraid to say anything, because that's going in a magazine. When a magazine hits a total hell of a lot of people out there in the public, roller pigeons basically, people, then you got to be careful what you say. We're here, I'm not afraid to say what I want.
oh, that's a nice bear right here. You got anything off that, Bob? You got anything on this?
Okay, what I did, John, is give most of these back to Carol.
Bob claims this pigeon was a 100-foot spinner. And that red checker was his son.
That's too bad. It'll come back to haunt him, man.
That's on him. If I don't know for sure, I don't want it. I gave it back. Carol.
Grandson of 44 and granddaughter over here.
I'll show you a pigeon, Pete, right now you'll never see again in the rest of your life. Ever. Never, ever see a pigeon like this the rest of your life. Ever. See the color on that bird? See that? That's
Yeah.
called a split jane, the jane split. Part blue bar, part dun or red check, whatever a person might want to call it. You'll never see another pigeon like that. There ain't none. There ain't none around. I could put her in the shell coop out there and you could get a good picture of her if you
Wanna
like.
close the door?
Right there, sure. Right there. You see the color on that bird?
There we go.
Isn't that nice? See the color on that pigeon? And
How many
she has all the bloodlines and all them papers behind her too. Every
Wrapped
bit
up
of
in
it. Sure.
How many feet did that? Was that a spinning bird
She
or?
was a 30-foot roller. Yes. Charles Saldana brought her to me as a young bird, 30 feet in the air, and this is her first year of breeding. But you don't see a pigeon that marked like that. They're 1 in a million. I got one close down there, same bloodline. Is that good enough?
Yeah, that's good.
Wow, that's a nice spangle.
You ever see one like that, John?
Oh, the mosaic?
Yeah, see the color on that bird?
Yeah, I see it.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, I had him
You don't
marked
see
earlier.
many pigeons like that. They're not marked.
That's a nice. That's nice. Oh, Bob, you got nice birds. I like this blue checker.
I have a picture of this pigeon here in my room, framed. She was a terrific roller, deep roller, 50 feet. But she was odd-sided also. She was, when she was young, she was blue checker one side, red check the other. See her turn around, see the change? But the blue checker started fading out as she got older, see? She was an outstanding spinner. Oh, beautiful 40-foot roller.
40-foot roller,
Same
huh?
blood. Oh, she was wonderful roller.
It is a pure Pensum strain of pigeons, 49 years in the making.
Every good.
People going back to England and other parts of the world getting pigeons, and
Mhm.
it's right here, huh?
The father, okay, the father to this blue hen here. Okay, see the blue hen in the back? Okay, the father to her was 1971 champion, best individual roller of the year. Her father.
What was the
He's
father's?
dead now.
What was his number?
1570.
1570.
I can show you the paper. 1570. A done self-cock. I gave it to Charles Saldana. It won the best individual with 2 broken legs. Now that's hot. Both legs were broke. a week prior to winning that flock. But I put it up anyway. I'm one of the best rollers I have. And I gave it to Charlie after the flock. And he gave me a daughter directly out of it. He's dead now. She's one of the older breeders I have left. She's 9, 10 years old. But she's still producing.
Can I handle that string?
Mm-hmm, sure. Now they're going to be a little heavier, John. You know that when they're breeding.
Yeah.
We'll fix it.
Yeah, that's a nice pigeon. That's the son off of the 100-foot cog. That's his direct son.
It's a nice one.
Oh, he was 30 feet. He was excellent. Now there's your see. You do okay. He was 100 feet. He was only 30 feet.
I like that pigeon.
See?
I'd breed out of that pigeon.
There's where you can't really say, okay, this pair's going to make this a 20-foot roll. You can't say that.
It's a nice one.
Because he's 100 feet, this is only 30 feet, and that's his son. They can say what they want.
You have any children of his out in the field?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got children.
Okay, I think it's...
I have a young hen out there out of him that's probably doing 20 feet now. She just started rolling, which is in the red pattern. She's red and white also. Yeah, I got a young hen. Yeah, he's a nice cockbird. I like him. Nice cockbird.
How about these white pigeons right here, Bob?
Same blood, same thing. Same. They're made out of red checkers and blue checkers. The white birds are 44. 3 years of breeding and got them pure white. Same pigeons.
Same pigeons.
Yeah, same birds. Just took 3 years to get pure white. That pair, I got some flying pure white. Same birds, not the same bird. Just took 3 generations to get them pure white.